Several housing developers refused to sell to them once they learned they were black. One builder, whose son Andrew served with in war, refused to build for them. Then they came across a modest little home in Shibley. It was perfect. It was the right look and the right price. But there was one problem. It wasn't the money, because they had that. It was their race. They were black. And there was no way they were going to get into Shibley. So instead of getting denied again, they came up with a plan. The Wades were a well-respected black family, and they were politically involved. Both Andrew and his father were contributors to Louisville's black newspaper, The Defender. They were active in the NAACP and spoke out against the injustices inflicted on black people. In 1953, Andrew wrote an editorial in The Defender. He criticized the hypocrisy of a country that condemned atrocities abroad while allowing black citizens to suffer the same brutalities at home. He warned that black veterans, just like himself, men who served their country in war, were having their homes bombed just for trying to move into white neighborhoods. Little did he know that that would become his story. Because Andrew was politically active, he knew white allies who were sympathetic to the black freedom struggle. One such couple was Carl and Ann Braden. He knew them from the NAACP and from his volunteer work on Henry Wallace's 1948 presidential campaign. Andrew and Charlotte asked the Bradens if they would buy the house and then transfer the property to them. They weren't doing anything illegal. They were trying to get around the blockade that had been put in place to keep black families out of white neighborhoods. Whites wouldn't sell to black buyers, but they would sell to other white people, and that would be the Wades' way in. The Bradens quickly agreed to help them. Andrew and Charlotte were elated. They could finally begin their lives in a good home, in a good area, with good schools. They already had a young daughter, Rosemary, and Charlotte was pregnant with their second child. The Bradens bought the home on May 7, 1954, and the property was transferred to the Wades a few days later. With joy and excitement, Andrew and Charlotte moved into their new home on May 14th on Roan Court. The very next day, after they moved in, Andrew and Charlotte went into town. When they came back, someone had thrown a brick through their front window. Wrapped around the brick was a message: "Get out by tonight." But it didn't stop there. That same night, around 10:30 p.m., a cross was burned near their home. Andrew saw the man lighting the fire and went to get his weapon to fire at them, but he stopped. He knew it would only bring more trouble. But still, it was not over. That same night again, around 2 a.m., someone fired 8 shots through their kitchen window, almost hitting them. The Jefferson County Police provided the Wades with protection. When asked by reporters if he would move, if he would leave, Andrew said boldly that he and his family intended to live or die there.